Right. After this, we have first law of thermodynamics. Right. So far, we discussed the history of the thermodynamics first law, and right. And now we'll discuss what is exactly the first law of the thermodynamics. Right. So it is the special case of the law of conservation of energy. Right. So first law of thermodynamics is nothing but, so basically it is law of conservation of energy. Right. As we know, the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to other form, and the total energy remains constant. Total energy remains constant, right? So that's what. So that is a basic definition of the first law of the thermodynamics. It is the law of conservation of energy. Okay, and total energy of isolated system. Total energy of isolated system is always constant, right? So it will be more clear in the coming slides. Okay, because isolated system means, what is meant by isolated system? In isolated system, no heat interactions will be there and no work interactions will be there. No work interaction, no heat interaction within the isolated system, because the name itself, it is indicating that it is isolated from the surroundings, right? It is alone, right? So therefore there is no heat interaction for that isolated system, as well as there is no work interaction for the isolated system. When there is no heat and work interaction, then we can say that the total energy of that particular system remains constant, because it won't give its energy to surroundings, or it won't take energy to from the surroundings. At the same time, it won't do any work over the surroundings, or it won't take any work from the surroundings. So that is the reason the total energy of isolated system is always constant, right? And next definition is, all the energy that goes into a system should be comes out of other form. Because if you see previous slide, the potential energy we have at the rest position is converted into kinetic energy. Again, this kinetic energy is again converted into mechanical energy, and mechanical energy is further converted into electrical energy. What is the meaning of this one? The energy is always constant, means we can say the energy should go in one form and it should come out of some other form, because we cannot destroy or we cannot create the energy, right now. So that's why all the energy that goes into a system should come out with some other form, should come out with some other form of the energy. That other forms may be potential energy, kinetic energy. Let us consider a mass m is resting at a height h from the ground. It is at a height h from the ground. At this instant, it consists of potential energy. When it starts falling towards the earth, what happens? The potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. Right now, the potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. That's what. The energy should be come out from different other form, right? We cannot destroy the energy, right? And one other way of defining is, no machine can produce energy without corresponding expenditure of energy, right? So without giving input, we don't get any output, right? No machine can produce output without input, right? Let us consider a machine or motor. Will it run without supply of electrical energy? No, it always requires some input, then only it will give some output, right now. So it gives rotational power, the electrical motor. For that, what we should give? Electrical energy is the input. That is the meaning. No machine can produce energy without corresponding expenditure of energy. Even our human body also, without taking input, or is it is possible to do the work or our work? No, it's not possible, right? So that's what, always we take one form of the energy and it will be converted into other form of the energy, right? So energy cannot appear from nothing, nor can convert into the nothing, right? So that is the definition of the first law of thermodynamics, right? So finally, it is nothing but the law of conservation of energy. All definitions leads to law of conservation of energy. We cannot create or we cannot destroy. Only we can transmit from one form of energy to the other form of the energy, and the total energy remains constant. Okay. So the first law of thermodynamics is the law of conservation of energy applied to the thermal system, right? As we already know, internal energy of a system is nothing but sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is nothing but the internal energy. Is it clear definition of first law? Anyone, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Now we will apply the first law of thermodynamics to the cyclic process. Right. So now if you can see here, let us consider a Cartesian coordinates, pressure on y-axis and volume on x-axis, PV diagram, right? Now, let us consider the process, right? What is one indicates, tell me anyone, what is the meaning of one or what is the meaning of two? What one indicates, what two indicates, anyone?
Starting point, ending point.
No. Okay, it is starting point, ending point. There is specific meaning is there. Specific name is there. In first unit we discussed. Anyone? I want answer. Then only I'll be happy. What one denotes? It represents. What one indicates? Please mute your mics. What one indicates? One is a. What is one? It is a state, right now, right? Each unique. Yeah, that's what. Each unique condition of the system is represented by its state. Yes or no, right? Each unique condition of system is represented by its states. Now you can see state 1 is there, state 2 is there, right? So this is the pressure corresponding to state 1. This is the pressure corresponding to state 2, right? So which pressure is more, one pressure or two pressure?
One.
P1, right? Now P1 is more than P2. When P1 is more than P2, so what is this process is called, expansion or compression?
Expansion.
Expansion, because pressure is decreasing. At the same time, you can see this is the volume corresponding to one V1 and this is the volume corresponding to V2, right? Again, we can see V2 is greater than V1, volume is increased. So therefore, we can say the process 1 to 2 via A, 1 to 2 via A is called expansion process, because during expansion, pressure is going to increase and pressure is going to decrease and volume is going to increase. At the same time, now if you see the reverse process 2 to 1 via B, from 2 to 1 the pressure is increased and volume is decreased. Therefore 2B1 process is called which process? 2 to 1, what is the process? 2 to 1 via B, compression, right? So this is the expansion process. During expansion process, what will happen? The volume is going to increase and pressure is going to decrease. Whereas coming to 2 to 1, this is the compression process. Compression process is nothing but the pressure is going to increase and volume is going to decrease. Now look. Yeah. Now look at the figure. 1 to 2, it is the expansion process, right? Let us consider a piston cylinder arrangement. Are you able to see the cursor, green color?
Yes, sir, we can see,
Right.
but
Yes,
a bit
sir.
lags.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Please bear. Right. Let us assume it consists of high pressure gas. It consists of high pressure gas inside the cylinder. Now let us assume that the cylinder is going to undergo for expansion process. Now let us assume expansion process is going to happen here. Now when the expansion process is going to happen, what will happen? The piston will be pushed up downward direction, right? Now, so when the piston is pushing downward direction, is there any restriction for the piston? Is there any restriction? No, right? No. Second, right. Now let us consider second case. Now this is the position of the piston. This is the position of the piston. Now here we have the gas. Now let us assume I am applying force over the piston. Now I am applying force F over the piston, so that the piston is moving upward direction. Now tell me, in this case, is there any restriction for the piston?
No.
Huh?
Sir, yes.
Yes, because here we have gas right now. Right, this gas will try to push the piston downward direction only, right? So here there is a restriction for the piston, but here in the downward motion there is no restriction for the piston. Means here during the expansion, this is the expansion process and this is the compression process. This is the expansion process. So during the expansion process, we are going to extract the work from the system during the expansion. Try to remember, during the expansion process, we are getting the work from the system, and during the compression process, we need to supply the work from externally to the system. Got the meaning? During expansion process, we will extract the work from the system. During compression process, we need to supply work to the system. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if it is clear, tell me, in which case work is positive, in which case work is negative? Let us say, my first question is, in which case work is positive? In compression or in expansion?
Compression is positive.
In which case work is positive?
Compression, sir.
No.
Compression, sir.
Sorry,
Remember.
expansion.
Now, if you remember the sign convention, heat added to the system is positive.
Positive.
And work done by the system is also positive, right?
Positive.
So work done by the system is nothing but which work it is? Expansion work. Agree?
Expansion.
This
Yes,
is the work done by the system, expansion. So always expansion work is the positive, right?
Neg-
Right.
Positive.
Right. Now let us say work done on the system. Work done on the system is negative. Work done on the system means which type of work it is? Compression work. Right now this is the negative work and this is the positive work. In the same way, heat rejected to the system. Heat rejected to the system is negative. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right now, always expansion work is the positive work, compression work is the negative work, because during the expansion process we are extracting the work from the system, and during the compression process we are giving work to the system, we are adding work to the system. So that is the negative. Clear now so far? Is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Right. And I have one more question. How to calculate work done by using PV diagram? How to calculate work done by using PV diagram?
Area under the
Very good, right? The projected area under PV diagram always gives the work done. Very good, right? So the projected area or the area under PV diagram gives the work done. Now let us consider expansion process, right? Expansion process is from state 1 to state 2. Please try to understand. Very important. If this concept is clear, you can solve problems very easily. Please try to listen, right? Now, so let us say state 1 to 2. State 1 to 2, if I want to draw the projected area, so this is the shadow of the point 1 and this is the shadow of the point 2. Now the area covered is the 1A, 2, 3, 4. 1A, 2, 3, 4 is this is the work done by the system till the x-axis. This is the shaded area. This gives the work done by the system during the expansion process. Agree? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let me now go for the compression process 2 to 1. Now if the process is 2B1, what is the projected area? 1B2 3 4. At that time, this is the projected area. This is the projected area for the 2B1 process. Got it now? Now look here. Which work is more, expansion work or compression work here? Which work is more, expansion or compression?
expansion.
Expansion, right? Let us assume this compression work is W2 and this expansion work is W1. Then how to get the network? How to get the network?
W1 minus W.
W2, right now? Means because expansion work is more, this expansion work minus compression work is the network. Now can you tell me which is the network in the diagram? Tell me. Which is the network? Please observe the figure and tell me which is the network. So here for 1A to
1A to 2B1.
very good, 1A to B1, right? Now you can see this is the work network available for the system. Now this is this work, this knurling one. This knurling area is the network done by the system. How to calculate the network? Network is nothing but expansion work minus compression work, because here expansion work is more than compression work. W1 is more than W2. Therefore, W1 minus W2 gives the network. The same thing is explained here, right? So now what is cyclic process? If the initial and final states of the system are same, means all the properties are restored. So what is the state of the system at point 1? After passing through 1A2 and 2B1, again the properties are restored. If the initial and final states are identical also, we can say it is a cyclic process, right? So that the system restores its original conditions. That is a cyclic process, right? Now the same thing is explained. A system is represented by state point 1 and undergone a process 1A2 and comes back to the initial state from 2B1, right? And area 1A2341, this total area, gives the work done during the expansion, that is W1. And similarly 234 B2, right? So 2341 B2 gives the work during the compression process. That is, compression process means work supplied to the system. Work supplied to the system is negative work. Okay, and the net area, that is 1A2 B1. This is the net work. How to get the network? W1 minus W2 gives the network done by the system. Is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next. Now, so here, since the system regains its initial state, there is no change in the energy stored by the system, because the initial state and final states are identical. So therefore, there is no change in the energy stored by the system, right? So according to the first law of thermodynamics, so what is first law of thermodynamics? So energy can neither be created nor be destroyed.
Neither
but
be
it can-
destroyed.
but it can be transformed from one form to other form, right? Now, in order to do the work, what it is required, we need to supply the heat, and at the same time, when the work is done on the system, heat is rejected from the system. Okay, so because if you want to extract, you need to give some input. That is the first law of thermodynamics, right? Energy cannot be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to other form. As we know, during expansion process, that is 1A2, we are extracting work. How to get the how to extract the work? By supplying certain input. This is the input given, because we cannot create from nothing. Yes, sir, right? That's why heat is supplied to the system. That heat is going to convert it into work. At the same time, in second case, we are doing work on the system. This work is converted into heat. If you add work to the system, it rejects heat to the surrounding, right now. So this is according to first law, because one form of energy is converted into other form of energy, because simply it won't extract work or it won't consume work. The same energy, it should be liberated in some other form. Here work form is converted into heat form. That's it. Okay, so according to first law of thermodynamics, but net will be 0. W1 minus W2, net work done by the system equal to net heat supplied, right? Q1 minus Q2, where Q1 is the heat supplied minus Q2 is the heat rejected. And we can say it is a cyclic process. Therefore, we can call it as cyclic integral. This is the word cyclic integral. Cyclic integral means it is a cyclic process. Cyclic integral of dou Q is equals to cyclic integral of dou W. Or we can say cyclic integral dou Q minus dou W is equals to 0. What is dou here? What is dou indicates here?
Partial differential.
Yeah, partial differentiation or inexact differential. It is a path function, right? Now dou is a path function. Clear? Please answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
Right. So first law states that cyclic integral dou Q is equals to cyclic integral dou W, means for the cyclic process, net heat interaction is equals to net work interaction. Right now, it is very, very simple.
Sir, can we call
Yeah.
this a reversible process?
Can we call it
Rev-
as a reversible?
reverse.
Yes, we can. But only thing is the sign conventions will differ. That's it. Suppose let us assume the process 1A2 is there, right? So instead of 1A2, it will go from 2A1. Yes or no? If it is 2A1, which type of process it is? Please tell me. If it is reversed, 1A2 is reversed. Is usually 1A2 is the expansion process because the volume is increased. But it is reversed 2A1. What happens to volume? Volume is decreased. Therefore, this process will become compression process. Agree? Agree
Yes,
or
sir.
not?
Yes,
And
sir.
this process 1B2 will become expansion process. Here now the network will be negative. Network will be negative because the compression work is more as compared to the expansion work. That's it. If you reverse, only signs will change. The magnitude remains same. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Still any doubt?
No.
No. Then we'll go to one problem. Simple problem. Right. So problem on cyclic process, nothing but first law. On first law of thermodynamics, we'll see one problem. Right. Now, a system undergone a cyclic process consists of four processes. There are four processes in a cyclic process. The heat transfer in each process, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 are given. At the same time, net work transfers, W1, W2, W3, and W4. Is the data is consistent with the first law of thermodynamics, right? Now we can see Q1 is given, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Now, in the same way, W1, W2, W3, and W4. Right. Now, what is Q1? Q1 is equals to 400 kilojoule. It is positive. What is mean by positive value? Heat is added to the system. And Q2 is minus 365. The negative sign indicates that the heat is extracted from the system. Nothing but heat is removed or rejected from the system. And similarly, Q3 also same. Q is negative means heat is extracted or rejected. And Q4 is added because it is positive, 250. In the same way, W1 is equals to 140 kilojoule. When work is positive, when work done by the system, then only it is positive. W1 is indicating that work is done by the system on surroundings. And W2 is equals to 0. There is no work interaction. There is no work interaction, right? We can say that it is maybe constant value. Let us discuss in the coming slides why when work is 0 at that time. Right now, W3 is minus 55 kilojoule. Minus indicates that work is done on the system, and W4 is 0. Again, there is no work interaction, right? So what he is asking is the data is consistent with first law of thermodynamics, right? So according to first law of thermodynamics, for cyclic process, cyclic integral dou Q should be equal to the cyclic integral dou W. Cyclic integral dou Q should be equal to the cyclic integral dou W. What is cyclic integral dou Q? Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. Tell me, if you add these four, what is the value? You should consider signs also. 400, 650 minus this value. How much? Tell me. Is it is 85? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
85
Yes,
kilojoule is
sir.
the heat interaction. Now coming to work, add total for 140 minus 55. It is also 85 kilojoule, right? So it is both are same on left hand side, right hand side. Dou Q is equals to dou W. Therefore, the given data is consistent with the first law of thermodynamics. Is it is clear?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
right? Yeah. Other way of asking is this model is, let us say Q1 is given, Q2 is given, and Q3 is not given. Q4 given, and 4 works are given. The question will be like this: if the given data is consistent with the first law, calculate Q3 both in magnitude and direction. Can we do like that? The question
Yes,
is
sir.
right now. So the given data is consistent with the first law, then calculate Q3. That is the question. Means all values are given, all works, 4 works are given, 3 heats are given. The other thing we can calculate, cyclic integral dou Q is equals to cyclic integral dou W. So from this we can calculate Q3, and suppose if you get positive value for Q3, we can say that heat is added to the system, and if Q3 is negative, we can say that heat is rejected from the system. Clear now? Right. Yeah, this is the solution. We can see here. Net heat interaction dou Q equal to cyclic integral Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and we'll get 85 kilojoule, and dou W equal to 140, 0, 55, 85. So therefore dou Q is equals to dou W. Therefore the given data consistent with the first law. Now one more problem. Now let us look here. The working fluid in an engine executes a cyclic process. This is also cyclic process, and 2 work interactions are involved. So first work interaction is 10 kilojoules to the working fluid. Now tell me, 10 kilojoules to the working fluid, what is the sign? What happened? Can you see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yes.
1 second. Where we are? Here only, right? Right. So the working fluid in an engine executes a cyclic process, and 2 work interactions are given. 10 kilojoules. These are the work interactions. 10 kilojoules to the working fluid. What does it mean?
Expansion.
10 kilojoules to the fluid, not from the fluid. W1 is given, W2, both are the work interaction. It is to the working fluid, means it is minus 10, yes or no? Work is added to the system. Agree? Yes or no? 10 kilojoules to the working fluid.
Yes, sir.
And similarly, 30 kilojoules from the working fluid. 30 kilojoules from the working fluid means it is the expansion work. Therefore, it is positive. It is 30 kilojoules. Right now? And next will be the working cycle also involves 3 heat interactions. The working cycle also involves 3 heat interactions, and 2 of which are given: Q1, Q2, and Q3. 3 heat interactions are there, out of which 2 are given. So one is the 75 kilojoules to the working fluid. Is it is positive or negative? 75 kilojoules to the working fluid. Heat is added. When heat is added, it is positive value. And 40 kilojoule from the working fluid. So heat is extracted from the fluid. Therefore, it is 40 kilojoule. When heat is rejected from the system, it is negative, right? So like a previous problem, what I told, determine the magnitude and direction of third heat interaction. Is it is possible to solve the question? According to first law, cyclic integral dou Q is equals to cyclic integral dou W. Can anyone tell me answer? So cyclic integral dou Q equal to cyclic integral dou W. So cyclic integral dou W is equals to 20 here, 30 minus 10, and this will be 35 plus Q3. 35 plus Q3. How to get the 35? 35 is nothing but Q1 plus Q2. 75 minus 40. So from this, how to get Q2, Q3? Q3 is equals to 20 minus 35. 20 minus 35 will be minus 15 kilojoule. What does it? What is the negative sign indicates? Negative sign indicates that heat is
Given to the
from, no,
from
heat
the-
is rejected from the system. Heat is removed from the system. Agree? heat is rejected or removed from the system. You can see here. So cyclic integral dou W, cyclic integral dou Q. For according to first law, dou Q is equals to dou W. From that we got minus 15 kg kilojoule. So the negative indicates that heat flows out of the system. Clear this problem? Is it clear?
Sir. Clear, sir.
Right. Now we will start corollaries. So corollaries means nothing but as the result of the consequences. Okay. So corollaries of first law. Just now I discussed first law. Then what are the consequences of the first law of thermodynamics? Okay. Right. So first corollary is for a process. Right. What it states, when a system executes a process,
Sir.
the net heat. Sorry.
Sir, can we start this topic in the next class, because we will forget what you have learned in between, what you have learning afterwards.
Okay then. Now we will see what we discussed today. So we discussed first law of thermodynamics, and it applies to the cyclic process. Can anyone tell me what is meant by cyclic process and what is the application of first law to the cyclic process? Anyone?
Energy need to be created.
Energy